Hi guys, this is Cyclist Mush here, and thank you for joining me today, where I will be giving you a summarized version of the life, death, and rule of Yi Seong-ge, the first ruler of Joseon, also known as King Taejo. This guy led a very complicated life and had a boatload of sons, so I won't be able to give you all the details today, but I will be touching on key points of his life and rule, which you can find timestamped below down in the description. This video is the first of a series on all of the Joseon era kings. There are 29, and I will be going through their lives, their rules, and giving you those key facts as well. These videos are also designed for easy listening, so you don't need to actually watch the video unless you're interested in all the pretty pictures included or this beautiful face. So with that being said, I'm going to start all of these videos with Joseon era basics, just in case you're not super familiar with that, and it'll give you a context and setting for these facts and information. So let's jump into that now. Enjoy the video. So, the Joseon dynasty of Korea, which was the last dynastic kingdom of Korea, lasted 5 centuries. That's from 1392 all the way to 1897, where it transitioned into the Korean Empire. Where the Korean Empire replaced Joseon, Joseon replaced the Goryeo dynasty. During the long expanse of the Joseon dynasty, Confucian ideas were heavily implemented into society, with the state's official ideology becoming Neo-Confucianism, and so Buddhism was replaced and pushed back by Confucianism. While the dynasty experienced great gains in trade, academia, and technology, and what would become traditional Korean culture, it was also plagued by invasions by the Japanese, the later Jin dynasty, and the Qing dynasty, making it quite isolationist. Yi Seong-ge, who I will refer to from now on as King Taejo, to try to butcher the Korean language as little as possible, was born on 4th of November in 1335, in the Goryeo period. He was the son of quite an important woman, Queen Yuhe, however, whichever one you like, and a Korean official of the Mongol-led Wan dynasty. So, the Wan dynasty was the current imperial family of Goryeo. I honestly couldn't find much on his early life before his military antics, so be sure to keep a really sick diary in case you ever become a prominent historical figure. King Taejo was well known as a strong military figure, eventually climbing to general, and he was seen as a shrewd leader. I can't go into depth on this due to time, but he did lead a lot of successful campaigns, including the restoration of Manchuria to Korean territory and fending off Japanese pirates. Okay, so this next part is going to be a lot. I may need to read a lot from my notes, so don't mind that, but let me set the stage for you. Goryeo, which had been established way back in 918, was a shattered nation. It was crumbling in on itself. Years of war had rampaged the country, and it was partially occupied by the Mongols at the time of Taejo's rise. The imperial family was rife with forced intermarriage. The royal court was divided and inefficient, with everybody vying for royal favor. At this point, Goryeo was struggling to remain an independent state, especially with the constant raids and warfare going on. Two characters come into light, Yi Seong-ge, or King Taejo, and his boyfriend. His rival, Joseon. They existed on opposite sides of a schism, with Taejo supporting the Ming dynasty, and Choe supporting the imperial family of Wan. The final piece of this was a Ming messenger coming in 1388, demanding the dynasty return a large portion of the northern territory of Goryeo. The war that followed was complicated and intense, and I don't have time to go into it, but I can make a dedicated video about this if you guys are interested. Historical spoilers ahead. Obviously, Taejo was victorious in overthrowing the current king after this strife, taking his army across the Yalu River and into the capital. He removed the sitting King Yu and killed General Cho. Rest in peace. Although the throne was now vacant, Taejo was resistant to taking it for himself at first. So instead, he placed King Yu's son, Chung, onto the throne for a little bit and tried to restore the original monarchy. But it failed, and he ended up killing them both. So following this, a struggle for power of the throne commenced, and Taejo forced a royal into a position of a puppet king, known as King Gongyang. Through Gongyang, who worked on Taejo's orders, Taejo managed to gain control and support of the court, removed Gongyang, exiled him, killed him, and took the throne for himself. So, finally, Yi Seong-ge is finally King Taejo. Goryeo has officially fallen, and we are finally at the beginning of the Joseon dynasty. Woohoo! So, King Taejo is finally on the throne after all of that bloodshed. What now? Is he even going to be a good king? Let's see what kind of decisions he made. So, due to Taejo originally siding with the Ming, Joseon started off on a better foot with China, and also repaired relations with Japan and Siam. The capital was then moved to Seoul, and a large palace was built, facing south due to Chinese tradition, and a giant wall was built around the city. It was 10 miles long, made of 98 sections, with 4 big gates facing each cardinal direction. He tasked building the wall to different provinces among Joseon, even choosing construction dates that wouldn't interfere with the laborers' planting and harvesting responsibilities. So that was pretty cool of him. However, soon after taking the throne, King Taejo faced another war inside the palace walls. There was a fight over who would succeed King Taejo, exceedingly complicated by the fact that he had 8 sons. What followed is known as the Strife of Princes, a complicated scene that I would also need to make a dedicated video for, but here's the short of it. King Taejo's 5th son, Yi Bangwon, felt like the clear answer to this problem. He had by far contributed the most to his father's rise to the throne, and seemed like the favorite. However, he was hateful towards the king's 2 besties, or his favorite men in court, Jeongdo-jan and Namun. And Yi Bangwon wasn't shy about this. Jeongdo-jan knew that he was having this beef with him, so he managed to convince King Taejo as his right-hand man that he should crown the son that he loved most, not the one that would be best for the country, which is a little bit rude. So, instead of Yi Bangwon, King Taejo chose to crown Grand Prince Yuen, his youngest son, with his current wife, Queen Sindok, as crown prince. Fighting happened, plans, bloodshed. I'm skipping over to the end now, but Bangwon ended up revolting, entered the palace, killed Jeongdo-jan, all his homies, and the 2 sons of Queen Sindok, which included the crown prince. Ice cold. This tripped Taejo out hard, and he was so upset that his kids were willing to kill each other over the throne that he dipped, meaning he abdicated the throne and skipped town to go live in the Hamhung royal villa. Also, he didn't even appoint Bangwon to the throne, but his eldest son, Yi Banghua. Very similar, I know. He was so uninterested in the drama that every time Bangwon sent a messenger to his father killed them. But this is disputed. But even though this is disputed, this is what started the term hamhung chasa, meaning somebody who won't budge after several nudges to respond. So, let's skip forward 10 years to June 27th, 1408 in Chandok Palace. Former King Taejo, well, he died. He was 72, which was pretty old. He was buried at the tomb of Gonwanung. And that, my friends, was the life, reign, and death of the founder of the Joseon dynasty, Yi Seong-ge, and the first king of Joseon. If you're even still listening, if any of this sounded familiar, Shelbert is up here now. If any of this sounded familiar, you may have watched the Netflix K-drama called My Country, the New Age, which is based on the overthrow of Goryeo and the reign of King Taejo. While obviously not completely accurate, there are some things based in fact, and it is a very fun watch if you like crying and throwing up. My next video will be about King Jeongjan of Joseon, so stay tuned. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe. If there's anything you feel I missed or got wrong, other than pronunciation, I know, or you just want to say hey, leave a comment. I'd love to read them. And have a great day, and be kind. Bye.